the High Court, in preparation for our appearance before the bench, which is yet to give us any directions, I have submitted the copies of the pleadings the petitioners are relying on to make the case that to make the case on two fronts. One, that the process of making the budget was irregular and was done outside the law. And two, that the budget itself, the contents of the budget are to some extent fraudulent. There's what we call budgeted corruption within that budget, which if removed, then Kenyans will not have to pay through the nose, the way we are being forced to pay. So that's why we took the trouble to produce the evidence, which runs to 2,365 pages, to show that the budget-making process in Kenya is totally unconstitutional. It violates the Constitution. It violates the Public Finance Management Act. It violates the Public Finance Management Regulations 2015. And it violates many other laws that govern this country. We have also, within that, we have been able to isolate clear cases of budgeted corruption, whereby money is placed in the budget with no corresponding expenditure that benefits the public. So we hope that when we get to the bench, we'll have the chance, me and my co-petitioners, to demonstrate to Kenyans that we have got to the point whereby now we must do things according to the Constitution. The Constitution is not just a decorative document, it's the absolute law. And anything that goes against the Constitution must not be tolerated. Whether the heavens fall or not, the Constitution must come out supreme. Inside that, those very, very many pages of the budget, there is gross theft of public resources. At this point, I want to believe it is the civil servants in the treasury, the technocrats who prepare these things. I don't know that the politicians are involved, but at this stage, I would want to blame the technocrats for padding the budget with the expenditure that is not going to benefit the public. And as a result, we end up with a very, very high taxation regime to finance fraud, very deliberate fraud. That's what we want to demonstrate in the courts. And I hope that going forward, Kenya will be a different place. Our money will be respected. Our taxes will be imposed strictly in compliance with the Constitution. And the budget-making process will not be used to steal from struggling Kenyan taxpayers. That's our ultimate goal.
They attempted to bungle into your offices to scare you.
I don't know. The police are still investigating the break-in, but they did not succeed very much because the reinforcements in my office where I keep most of my stuff was not breached. So they did not much was stolen, but the police are investigating, and I've told that they will tell us who did it. But nothing, I think, of value was lost, other than the electronics that were taken.
You said we have...
You said that somebody attempted to break the 200 million so that you can drop the case.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah, it's a correct position. I was offered the money incremental until it reached 200 million, and I told them, that's not the currency in which I have. I want to keep my country, you keep your money. I keep my country, you keep your money. And I told the fellows, if you can't govern, get out of power and give those who can govern the chance to govern, not to come and try to entice me and confuse me with money. A lot of money that I even don't know what I can do with that money if you gave it to me today.
Senator, did you receive the money or
was the money wired?
No, the money was not given to me. I refused. They were trying to negotiate. They can't receive the money, but they were trying to negotiate, and they kept on adding, and I told them, it's not a question of money, it's a question of the rule of law.